Today I'm going to talk about 8 ways that cosplayers can make some money. G'day everyone! So today I want to talk about something that is a little bit exciting, a little bit different. It's controversial to some people, and that's making money off cosplay. So the first thing I'm going to say is that I am a hobby cosplayer. That doesn't mean that I've never made money off cosplay. It just means that I don't plan, at least for the foreseeable future, to make this a professional endeavour for myself. I have a full-time job which I love, and I don't see myself leaving anytime soon. Now, I've been lucky in the sense that a few different opportunities have actually fallen in my lap. Others I've chased after. But this is my experience. I haven't done all of these, but some of them I have. With the 8 tips, some of them towards the beginning are probably ones that you've already heard of. But there's some towards the end which you may not have, so stick around for those. And if you like what I have to say, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. So the first way, which I think is probably the most common way, at least that from what I can see, and that's prints. Selling prints of you in cosplay. So prints are where you print out a copy of you in cosplay on really nice paper, you sign it, you put a little love message on it, and you send it to your fan/supporter. It's pretty straightforward, it's a quick few bucks. But there's pros and cons to this. So the pros for having prints is that number 1, it's low cost. Number 2, it's pretty low admin. You print it off, you put the little message on it and you sign it and you ship it off. Pretty straightforward. The cons though is that for the photo that you're using, that image belongs to the photographer. So they have rights over that. You've got to make sure that you're using it with their permission. They may ask you to pay a fee up front or get a percentage of every print that you sell, which is absolutely fine, guys. Also, postage can be expensive. Be careful with your pricing, that's all I'm going to say. The second way that people make money, in a manner of speaking, is guesting at conventions. Now, this is the kind of starry-eyed, dewy-eyed, happy-go-lucky cosplayer vibes. However, you need to weigh up the pros and the cons for this. So the pros for this is that it could be a great experience for you. Lots of exposure, lots of meeting new people, and really getting your face out there. Also, you could be given a booth, which would allow you to sell merchandise if you've got it. The con to this is that it's not always monetary that you get. Sometimes you have your flights and accommodation looked after, and you might get some food and transport, but they're not actually going to pay you a fee as such, because they're covering you for a booth and you're expected to sell there. However, I will say that if you are well known enough, you can charge a fee as being a cosplay guest. Which brings me to point 2. You're working, which means that you're not necessarily going to be able to see the convention as such and experience it as an attendee. And the third con to that is that it is a highly competitive field. A lot of cosplayers want to be guests because it's a really good experience. Number 3, selling items. So selling cosplays can come in a few different fashions. It can be selling secondhand cosplays. It can be selling parts of cosplays. It can be selling full cosplays. It can be full-on commissions from start to finish. It can be props. It can be patterns. The list goes on. The pros to this is money. You will get money for this. You also have a number of platforms that can help you sell these items to people around the world. People you may not have been able to reach on your normal social media platform. And if you're selling secondhand items, well, it's a good opportunity to clean out the stash, let's be honest here. The cons for selling items is that you run the risk of having a bad client. That means someone who doesn't necessarily pay, or pay in time, or they get cranky, or they give you the wrong measurements and then you make something not to the size that they were expecting and then blame you on it. And also, shipping. Shipping can get lost, and that sucks. And even though you're using these platforms that are awesome, they will take a cut, and it can leave a bit of a dent in your actual income. And the last con is shipping can be expensive. Trust me on this. I have an Etsy shop at the moment which I'm winding down, and shipping from Australia to America, really expensive. Way number 4, Patreon. Patreon is a wonderful platform that allows you to support artists that you enjoy their work. You essentially subscribe with a dollar amount that you're willing to pledge towards their work per month, and then every month you get some sort of bonus. And it kind of has this warm and fuzzy kind of feeling because you are getting a small community access to your favorite artist. So the pros for having a Patreon is the fact that you have ongoing support, which is great. It means that you know what your paycheck is going to be from month to month. You also get to set your own tiers and rewards, which means you get to say, you give me this amount of money per month and I'll give you this every single month. So the cons to having Patreon is that it takes up a lot of resources, a lot of your time, and depending on what rewards you're offering, if you need to post anything, that can get expensive. And sometimes the time and the cost outweigh the benefit that you get. So the fifth one on the list is Ko-fi or Ko-fi. Meh. So Ko-fi is a platform that allows you to chuck a couple bucks to your favorite artists, sort of in place of having your morning latte as you head on into work. Couple bucks here, couple bucks there, you've got yourself a small paycheck. So your pros for having Ko-fi is the fact that it is commitment free to your supporters. They don't have to pledge like they have to do with Patreon for every month to give you this certain amount of dollar figure. Let's be real, sometimes people can't afford it every single month. So another good thing about Ko-fi is the fact that you can use it for something that is targeted. And what I mean by that is you can say, I want to raise funds so I can buy this prop. Or I want to raise funds so I can pay this photographer so I can do a good shoot for you guys. And your supporters can get behind that if they choose to. The cons to that is the fact that it is not ongoing. It is also a little by a little, and if the little doesn't become a big amount, then you've only got a couple of bucks. The sixth way, and that is YouTube. So let me take this moment to say thank you so much for watching so far. I really appreciate you doing so because you are right now supporting my work. So how YouTube works in terms of getting some pay to the artists that you're wanting to support is that after a certain amount of subscribers and watch time, you can choose to monetize your channel. That means that there's ads placed onto your content. The pros for making money on YouTube is that you're making content that you love, that you're passionate for. And the second pro to that is it's like a passive income. You're not actively selling something, you're just adding a benefit onto something that you love. The cons are YouTube takes a really long time. So when you shoot a video, you've got to, number one, prepare for it. You have to script it. You have to make sure that you've got lighting, you've got camera, you've got different angles maybe. And then once that's all filmed, then you need to edit it and you need to upload it and you need to create thumbnails, the works. And every step you've got to go a long way. And once that's all done, you still need to look at your analytics. And the other con is the fact that with YouTube, you're not going to be able to monetize your channel straight away. You do need to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. So the seventh way to make some money is promotional work. Now we're not just talking about booth babes here, but hey, if you're a booth babe, power to ya. Sometimes companies will hire a certain individual to be dressed as a certain character to promote one of their items. Or they will have that person come along to their event because they want the experience to be enriched and they believe that they can do that by having a particular character there. The pro to this is that you are getting paid essentially to either hand out flyers or to take photos with people. And the other pro is that you will either get paid and or you will get some freebies. The cons is that you have to represent that company or that brand, which means that if someone says something that you don't personally agree with, but it's in line with that particular brand, you got to suck it up. The other con is that you are on the clock. That means that you can't whip out a phone, break character and take a selfie as such, or go and spend 10 minutes in the toilet. You need to be present. And the eighth way to make some money is workshop and panels. Now, when I say workshop and panels, you may be thinking, but we've covered conventions. Aha! There are other places that you can hold workshops and panels. So there are creative businesses that may want to have a cosplayer come in and do a bit of work with them, Or local councils, especially those who've got a youth program, they love cosplays because it engages young people. So the process is that you meet a range of different people and you get the opportunity to inspire them and work with them. You also get to teach what your passion is, face to face, in the moment, which is great. Also, this is going to be a monetary thing. It's not going to be something that you get freebies from, usually. The con to this is that there is going to be a lot of prep work. Let's be honest, if you're going to take something to, a local community, you're going to have to bring everything. That means that if you're making armor, like even the most basic version, you're going to need foam, you're going to need to have hot glue, you're going to have enough hot glue guns, and you're going to need to have the right amount of paints in lots of different colors. The other con is that you will need to think about the admin side of things. You will need to think about invoicing, how much you're going to be charging, and what that entails in terms of doing your tax return. Anyway guys, those are my 8 ways that you can actually make some money from your passion, which is cosplay. If you've got any others, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to read them, maybe get a few ideas for myself. Anyway guys, I'll see you next time. Bye!